Good afternoon. Well, it's the afternoon here in the UK. And as you probably know, if you watch other vloggers that live in England, we're in the middle of a heat wave. So today I'm wearing gingham, cotton, very sheer gingham, and not much else. Today I thought we could chat about how to get in the magazines, or how I got in the magazines and built a relationship with Love Sewing magazine. Over the years, it's been at least 10. And I thought I could explain to you my sewing commissions for them. I've done some pattern hacks and I even do some editorial work now. So I'll show that to you. Biggest question I ever get asked when I show what I've been doing for particularly Love Sewing magazine. I have done other magazine work, but this is sewing, so it's all about Love Sewing today. How you actually get in the magazine. I do have a few tips and ideas for you. First of all, buy the magazine. There must be one that you really like, whether it's Simple Sewing, Talco, Love Sewing Mag. I can't think of any others off the top of my head at the moment. But for me, when Love Sewing came out, it was the time I just started sewing again, and it touched a nerve with me. It was including everything I liked. The start of indie patterns becoming big as well back then. I was fascinated with Love Sewing. I subscribed to it for at least a year. And when you start to actually read the magazine, first of all, you get to know who does what in the magazine. You get to know their style. You get to know what they like to share with you. And if it strikes a nerve, then that's probably a good magazine for you. So for me, Love Sewing, as I said, and they used to do a little thing where they featured their makes. It was a new magazine, so I used to tag them in all my Instagrams. Now this is probably going back 2013, 2014. And back then, of course, Instagram wasn't as popular as it is now. So when you tag them, they would automatically share. It's a lot more complicated now for people who are posting the social media to actually find you, even if you tag them or DM'd you, because sometimes they have social media managers that are in charge of the actual posting, and they might work remotely. They might not be so much in touch with the magazine. They might be all about the socials. So it's a little bit different today, but my biggest thing would be to buy the magazine you like. If it's a monthly, read it for at least 3 months, and then start to think how you could fit in with that magazine. Think, what things could you make that they might like? Find out who's the commissioning editor and pitch your ideas to that commissioning editor. And believe me, they're always appreciative of new readers, new ideas, and anyone can make their life easier. So don't be afraid. Doesn't matter how small you think your idea is, because once you get chatting and collaborating with the magazine, you can develop further on that idea, and who knows what you might end up with. So today I am wearing my gingham dress. This is a Very Easy Vogue V9237. It's an A-line dress. This is a long version, and at the back it's got some tiers. So I will show you that later if you're interested. But for now, I suggest you press pause. You get a tall glass of water. I've got one here. Add ice and lemon. It's too early for gin, but don't tempt me. And we'll get chatting when you come back. This was the first pattern hack that I did for Love Sewing magazine this year. It is a Simplicity S9653. It's the prairie dress, but you're probably thinking, but that's not a dress. Well, that was my hat. It wasn't a blouse option in the pattern. So I decided to make it a lot simpler. I took out the collar. It had a little round collar. So to make it simpler, I made it into a round neckline with a little placket at the back. I made it into a blouse, obviously, and I elasticated the waist. The one thing I didn't like about it, and they suggested that you do it, was add these little pads into the sleeves. I think it looks a lot better without them, because in the picture she had really wide. So that was the first one. This one was from New Look N6617, and again this was a dress just turned into a halter neck and made it into a tunic, because again there was no option to do that in the pattern. So let me show you the back. Made it into a halter neck and added a ribbon. I think that's quite pretty. And of course I used viscose fabric from Minerva with bees on it. Can you guess why? Because I think at the time that was last season's sewing bee. This one is a little two-piece. It started life as a much more formal pattern. This one started life as Simplicity S8982, and it was quite a formal, I call that workwear or smart stay-at-home wear, work from home wear. So it was quite a heavy knit, and I decided I wanted it sporty. So I made the top into a t-shirt, and I added these little tie gathers, and I made the skirt into a little mini beach dress, and I put another little gather in there. So let me show you it in the magazine. Let's see what we got. Oh, here it is. So this is it in the magazine. They called it Sporty Spice, and these are my tutorials how to do that. The next one I did, and this was Simplicity S9477. Now there is a short top in this one. There is an option to do that. But what I decided to do was to make it much more casual and to showcase using up every bit of the fabric. So I made it with little denim frayed edges, and I put the frayed edges around here as well. So it's a nice cool top. I think I'll be keeping this one and wearing it myself. This was a winter one, and this is the magazine, but it came from a dress. This was New Look N6750, and as you can see, it's a dress, no option for a skirt. So I decided to add it as a skirt, and I made a waistband for it and explained how to do that. I also made it in corduroy because it was for more of a winter issue, and it turned out really well. Put that there. Let's see. This one was a very pretty dress, S9543, and I decided to make the 3 panels because this dress has got a little bodice top, and then it's got almost like a corset bottom, and then a free-flowing A-line skirt. I decided to make each one of those in different fabrics, and it's very pretty at the back. Wish I'd made it in my size. The only other extra I added here was just to demonstrate your machine probably has all these stitches, and to use a little bit of decorative stitching on the bottom of the dress. And I also toned it down a bit because this was quite floral pretty, and I made it a bit more, well, Cowboy Carter, I guess, if you like Beyonce. There is an older one here. This little one started out as a jumpsuit with no option to make it shorter. This is Simplicity S9125, and I decided to turn it into a little play suit. I added cargo pockets, so they are quite a bit more of a highlight on there, and I added a Liberty type floral fabric just as a contrast, and then I threaded it through and I fastened it at the front because I think it's far easier to do stuff up when you have bows at the front. It was meant to be done up at the back, but that's my version. This is an older one I made, and this is pattern, let me see. This is McCall's 7948 pattern. Now I made this to fit a plus size model because the magazine wanted to show a few more plus size models and be more inclusive, which was really nice. So that was the finished article. The pattern started out quite formally, and I just decided to change the neckline. I made it into a little sweetheart with a few scallops and make it in a winter weight, longer sleeves, and you can wear it over jeans. You can wear it with thick tights and boots. I've shown you what I've made and how I pattern hacked. This is a season to season editorial that I did for Love Sewing recently. It's just very simple, explaining how as sewers you can transition between maybe not just summer to winter, but maybe spring to summer or summer to autumn. So just bridging those gaps with what you make. And I've got pattern suggestions, I've got fabric suggestions, accessories, how you can do it with accessories, layering. But what's quite funny is this picture of me showing a little dog there too. He got in on the picture. So yes, that's me. That's how I did it. I bought the magazine. I started following them, obviously, follow them on everything that they have, social media, comment, share their pictures, share their new issues, and they will start to notice you. Then find out who the staff are responsible for commissions, contact them, ask them what they're looking for, anything in particular. Does your style fit the magazine? If you're doing florals and they're doing plain linens, and is the difference between, I suppose, merchant and mills fabric and their ethics, their value, their style, because they're very much like toast clothes, which I love. And then you've got someone like Fabric Godmother who have much more vibrant print, much more sort of high street styles. So you have to weigh up which way your style goes. Does your style fit with that magazine? My favorite magazine at the moment is Tauco magazine. I love what they're doing. I love their inclusivity. I love their fabrics that they use or showcase. I've done a couple of things for their make and share. They invite people to make something and then they share it on their website. That's always good because you'll get to know a certain community. I once designed a pattern for Simplicity, and that came about exactly the same way. I was following Simplicity. I think they might have done a call out, and I answered them. They contacted me. We discussed style, and that was way back. I think that was 2014. I used to have a blog called Lazy Daisy Jones, and it's got the Lazy Daisy Jones little brand logo on it. Just to backtrack on the magazine thing, my top tips are to buy the magazine, subscribe to it. Usually they're monthly, so get at least a good 6 months of reading under your belt to try and get some old issues and look at their styling, look at their themes, their colours. Contact the commissioning editors, pitch to them your ideas and see what happens. Don't be scared. Magazine editors and commissioning editors really do appreciate anyone who is in line with their style. One of the things I often look at is, this is from 63 and this is obviously a new magazine, and I look at, these are the patterns. This is Vintage Simplicity pattern catalogue, and sometimes those patterns are so up to date today. This is very Bridgerton here. I'll put up some of those pictures for you. So that's just a very quick chat on magazines, editorials, pattern hacks, and some top tips on how to get into the magazines, how to approach them. Thank you for watching. I'm quite new at YouTube, although I've had my channel for quite some time. It was just to register the name and I didn't really use it. But now I'm starting to use it. I'm enjoying it and I'd love to do some more videos. So do let me know what things you like to watch, and do press the subscribe button. I'd be so happy to see you following along with me. And yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know if there's anything else I can help with or suggest ideas for you, inspire you with. I'm on Instagram as well as Threads by Ashley. So I'll put all the information below and you can have a click through and watch what's going on. See you soon.